We're going to need 1.5 pounds of ground pork, 1.5 teaspoons of dried sage, 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic, 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme, a pinch of ground cloves, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. If you want it to be a little more spicy, you can add more than a pinch. If you don't want any spice at all, just leave out the cayenne. Once we get all the spices in, we're going to mix that up nice and homogeneous, get it all well blended. We're going to wrap that in plastic wrap, and it's going in the fridge for at least 8 hours or overnight, preferably. Our oven preheated to 350 degrees while we prepare our wrap. We're going to need 1/2 cup of cottage cheese, 1 whole egg, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/8 teaspoon of ground black pepper. And we'll get all that in our food processor here. Make it nice and smooth. You can use a blender if you'd like. You'll just have to blend and stir, as it'll be a little bit thick. Food processor works pretty great for this. So we'll turn that out onto a parchment lined baking sheet, and we just want to spread that out evenly across the baking sheet. This one's about 13 by 9, just to kind of give you a point of reference there. You just want to smooth that out, try to get it even. You can use a spoon if you don't have one of these spatulas. One of those pastry knives works really well, the offset spatulas. This is going to go in the oven, 350 degree oven, for 25 minutes. Let's dice up our sausage for this scramble that we're going to put in our burrito. I like about a 3/4 inch dice on this sausage. You can cut it smaller if you prefer. The wrap's been out of the oven for about 5 minutes. Looks golden brown and delicious. Had a little time to cool, so I'll flip it over on the cutting board and start to gently peel away that parchment paper. I made this one a little thinner than I normally do as a test, so we'll kind of see how it works out. It's a pretty sturdy recipe. These things hold together really well, so try it out. Okay, let's start our sausage, egg, and cheese scramble for the filling for this burrito. Got a little grass-fed butter here. We'll throw in our 2 diced sausage patties. Give those a little shake. Stir them around. We'll cook that for about 3 minutes until they're heated through. And then we can add our 4 beaten eggs with fresh ground salt and black pepper. This is about medium heat right here. I'll let that set for about 10 seconds before I start to gently stir and pull the eggs in towards the center of the pan. I don't like to vigorously whisk it or chop it down so that I get small pieces of egg. I like large folds of egg. They have a silkier texture and a much better mouthfeel when you're eating it. Time to add in our 1/4 cup of shredded cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese. Give it a stir. We're going to start to fill our burrito now. Got our egg, sausage, and cheese scramble here. We'll just put that towards the front part of the wrap. This actually ends up being enough for about 2 people. It's pretty hearty and filling. It looks so good. Let's roll it up. So just start to lift the edges of the burrito wrap, kind of fold it over itself. You'll see on the right side there where that started to tear a little bit. Didn't end up being a problem at all. I just kind of kept rolling that around itself. It's going to end up being like a trifold. And like I said, the thing's pretty sturdy. If you want to make it a little thicker, you can. And you can do that by not spreading it out as much on the baking sheet. As you can see, it's really easy to handle. Doesn't fall apart when you pick it up. Stays together nicely. And overall, a super simple recipe.